Today we are going to talk about being vulnerable online. Why is it so scary? Why do I feel like we are too much? We're going to talk about all of these feelings, and hopefully, I can make you a little bit less scared of going online and being more vulnerable. I know that we are on Substack, so a lot of you are more than used to being vulnerable online, but there's always this fear that comes along, right? So if you just got here and you are catching this on the replay, comment team replay so I know that you are watching this. And if you don't know me by now, my name is Erika. I am an empowerment and embodiment coach for women who have been through a lot, done lots of work, and now they are ready to create and to build the life, the future that they truly want, but not the hard way. We do everything the gentle way over here and we kick ass. So part of the work that I do is communicating with you and helping you build the life that you want, but the gentle way. And many of you, the type of life that you want to build requires you to become more visible. So it's funny that this week has been a lot about becoming more visible. When I was doing inside of my Gentle Badass Academy, which is my premium membership, yesterday we had a focus session, and the topic was a lot about becoming visible and having a visibility wound and how hard it is to show up, especially when you have a business and the way that businesses are set up nowadays, where you kind of have to show up for your brand from time to time and let people know who you are, because people are going to buy into whatever it is that you're doing, your art, or if you have, a side project, whatever that is, people buy from us because we're us, right? And there is this acknowledgement of, okay, I need to become visible, but it's so freaking scary, right? It is freaking scary. Don't get me wrong, it is freaking scary. And as you join me, as you're catching this on the replay, leave me your comments, leave me your questions, anything that you want to comment on, you let me know, okay? All right, perfect. So this conversation is inspired. It's funny that this topic came up again inside of my paid subscription, but this conversation actually came, this idea for the conversation came from my Tuesday Tea, which is my weekly newsletter where I spill the tea on all of those things, right? On all becoming who you are meant to be, stop shrinking, going after what you truly want, doing it the gentle way. So this week, Tuesday Tea was a very vulnerable one. I was telling you about my own story of being a childhood trauma survivor and how that changed the relationship that I had with my mind, right? And when I was posting that, listen, I was writing it, and as I was writing it, I was okay, right? Because especially now I'm writing my book, so a lot of stories go into the book. So I'm used to diving deep, and this is not my first rodeo. I've written for blogs like Tiny Buddha, and I was so vulnerable over there. So writing the piece is not the problem. When I'm writing the piece, I'm like in the zone, and it's cool. But when I was about to publish it, I was feeling so nervous. I couldn't help but feel like really nervous about it. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? And it's been a long time since I've posted a more vulnerable piece. So I was really, really feeling nervous over there. It was crazy. I was, kind of spiraling down. And just to spill some tea over here. Okay, speaking of tea, let me drink it's not a tea actually today. It's like a flavored water with lemon and ginger. I needed something refreshing because it's hot where we are. Is it hot where you are right now? I'm in Spain, and this is crazy, and I'm not even in the worst places. But anyway, where was I going? Yeah, so I was sharing, so before I was sharing this article, I was feeling so nervous, and I kind of let myself be in that place where I was just like, oh my God, I'm sharing something really vulnerable. and uh, and then I saw that I lost a subscriber, right? And I started being like, oh my god, like this person's unsubscribed, like maybe I'm too much, like I'm sharing too much, this is not good. And I was starting to spiral, and I was like, okay girl, we need to sit down. So I did that work of allowing myself to just remind myself that it is safe to be vulnerable. It is safe to express what I want to express. And since I've done this work for so long, you know, the healing, the forward work, it took me kind of like a minute to be like, okay, yes, I'm safe with this. And I like reread the piece and I was like, yes, this is my voice, this is my story, this is useful to people. So I kind of like reminded myself of why I was sharing that piece, and just allowed my body to also feel safe in sharing that piece, you know, because that's a lot of the work is really you helping yourself feel safe in sharing what is it that you want to share, right? And it was the same yesterday at the academy, that fear of not being accepted, right? The same fear that my academy members were talking about is this the exact same fear that I was feeling yesterday for a few minutes, where I was just like, oh my god, I'm not going to be accepted, right? And this is a matter of survival. So when this happens, it's not that there's something wrong with you and oh my god, I cannot do what I want. Like, yes, you do can do what you want, but the thing is you just don't feel safe doing what you want. And so when that happens to us, and please feel free to just leave it in the comments, your experiences, if you are feeling what I am saying, if you relate to this feeling of like not being safe to express what you want to express. And if you have done some work, you already know where this fear is coming from. So you probably don't have to dive deep and be like, okay, why is it so hard for me to express myself? I'm sure that you can go back to some of your experiences. Oh, I think I have some hair in here. So I'm sure that you can go back to some experiences and know exactly where it comes from. So it's not a matter of creating more awareness, because sometimes that's what we think we have to do. We have to dig a little bit deeper. And for me, at a certain point in your life, it's about you taking action towards what you want to do and like, write the piece, right? Show up to that meeting or sign up for the thing, and creating that safety in your body. One of the best ways that I know that really can help you with that, and I use it with my clients all the time. And from this conversation that we had inside of the academy yesterday, I promised my girls that I was going to do an EFT practice for this particular issue of afraid of being visible. So if you want to join the academy where we actually get to practice being visible and doing the things that we need to do, just you're probably going to see a button for you to upgrade or to subscribe and join us over there and be a part of the Q&As and all the things that we have going on in the academy. But exactly, so my point here is that we need to create that safety, and at the same time we need to act on the thing that we say we want to do. Because at the end of the day, sometimes we focus on the wound and the healing and the healing and the healing, but at the end of the day the wound is going to heal. You know, when you have an injury, like for example right now, oh my, this freaking shoulder is killing me. When you have an injury, for example, like on your shoulder, you have to rest and you have to make sure it's healing, but you also have to move your shoulder. And eventually the frozen shoulder is going to go away. So that's how I see a lot of the work that we do when we want to expand and create the life that we want. And with the visibility wand is the same. Yes, you want to cater to yourself and look in, but you also want to exercise that muscle. And that's only going to happen when you start taking action. But you don't want to kind of like whiplash into taking action. You want to take gentle action, right? So I just started swimming very slowly, and I don't have the entire range of movement, but I do swim because I know it's good for my shoulder, but I don't go all in. And that takes me to the next step that I wanted to share with you, which is I feel like sometimes when we are vulnerable online, we can have this like all or nothing mentality. And sometimes we can feel like, oh, I am hiding this part of myself and I should be more open about everything else. And being online is crazy because people feel very entitled to your story. And sometimes when you share a little bit, people think that you have to share everything. And I could not disagree more with this. And I was telling yesterday when we were talking about this in the academy that I share like 5% of my life, the rest is private because either I'm not ready to share, either I don't feel like sharing. Sometimes it's something so precious and it makes me so happy that I just want to keep for myself. So you get to choose the pace and what is it that you are going to share. You don't have to share the whole story. You really don't. So you can make an exercise of thinking about, okay, I do want to become more vulnerable online. I don't want people to get to know me, but they don't need to get the whole you, right? We don't need to go into oversharing. Some people do the oversharing thing, and that's their thing. It's fine. But if that's not your thing and there are parts of your life that you want to keep private, then why not? Then just keep those parts private and don't pressure yourself into sharing like a bunch of things, because like you don't have to, right? You get to go step by step. You get to start swimming, if you can't do the whole range of motion. And if you can't do the whole range of motion, eventually that is also acceptable, right? You get to as I said yesterday, it's so cool that I had this conversation with my badass members yesterday. You have the power, right? So I feel that when we're thinking about becoming vulnerable online, we see vulnerability as giving away your power. And it's not. You still have power in your own vulnerability, and you get to share what you share with people. You get to choose. That's the word that I was looking for, and I couldn't. Oh boy, let me take a sip of this because this is. All right, I'm seeing some weird numbers here. I hope this is actually the first time that I went live today. It didn't go live, and then it created another live that is probably still going on right now. Substack is so crazy sometimes. Do you agree with me? Am I alone in this thought? Oh boy. But yeah, okay, all right. So the other thing that comes up usually with clients, and sometimes I think about this as well, is this thought of like, am I too much? Am I sharing too much? And is there such thing as sharing too much? Like in my vocabulary, there's no such thing as sharing too much. Like we all have like a barometer for what is it that we want to share online. So as I said, you have the power. And what I wanted us to talk about here today is just remember that the fact that you think that you are too much when you are about to share something with the world is not coming from you. It's coming from something in the past, right? And you can probably recall the situation. You can recall the person that made you think this way. So just be really mindful when you're like self-judging yourself in advance and being like, oh, am I too much? Just remind yourself that this is not a present thought. It's a very past thought from survival moments. So yeah, you're not too much. Just this is not even your thought, right? This is just one of those learned thoughts that we have, and it's not serving you, right? So when you're like, am I too much? Like, no. Short answer. No, people made you feel like you were too much, and some people cannot. Maybe you are too much for some people, right? Maybe I am too much for some people. Maybe it's too much vulnerability and they cannot take it. Maybe it's too much positivity. Maybe it's too much energy. So, are you too much? No. Are you too much for some people? Maybe, but who cares? If at the end of the day, you are sharing your story, your voice, you are doing what you are supposed to do, who the fuck cares? Right? We do, we care because we're scared. I know. That's why we create safety in the body. And we're going like full circle with all of this. And I listen, you know what? Like I'm loving this conversation that we're having because I feel this is one of those things that we all go through this, right? We all go through this. And sometimes when we have the conversation, when we verbalize, and when we realize, oh, hold on, wait a minute, like I'm not too much, I have control. And if I'm nervous, if I'm feeling anxious, all I got to do is regulate and create safety in the body. What? It's that simple. And of course, practice being visible, show up, practice. And you can do it bit by bit at your own pace, you know? That's so, so cool. So yeah, let me see if I forgot telling you something. Yeah, that's it. I told you something, you know. So I want you to know, I want you to let me know in the comments, are you going to practice being visible in the upcoming weeks, months, in the rest of the year? Is this something that you are struggling with? This conversation, was this little tea talk useful to you? I hope it did. I hope it did because just me being vulnerable online and sharing my story has brought me so many things. Just not just the fact of helping me in my business, because people get to know me, people get to know where I come from, and you get to know that I've been through the trenches, right? When you're like, oh my God, I've been through a lot, like this is, I don't know if people are gonna get, I'll get it. I'll get it because I've been through it, but now you know that I've been through it, you know. It helped me connect with so many wonderful people, and it helped me reduce the shame that I had around my story. A lot of the shame went away when I started sharing because, first of all, I just take it off. The shame. I realize that other people can relate. There is acceptance. It's just right out there. And it's such an amazing feeling when you liberate yourself and you just allow yourself to tell your story and be vulnerable and be in your power, because vulnerability is not lack of power. If you are able to be vulnerable and stay centered, that is actually the most powerful thing you can do for yourself. Like, so yeah, I'm so passionate about this topic. And inside of the Gentle Badass Academy, we go really deep and we work real time. So this is just kind of like taking a look at what's in the surface, what is it that you can do about it. If you really want to practice, if you want support as you start building what you want, as you start showing up, then join us in the Gentle Badass Academy. It's been amazing. We have started just this month. Today I posted the digest about everything that happened in July, and it's been amazing. We have done a 21-day challenge called Make the Move, and it's all about helping you build the life that you want, but the gentle way, not the hard way. And we have all of these beautiful Q&A and focus sessions where you get to ask questions like these ones and get advice that is specific to you, right? That's the thing that I love about having the Gentle Badass Academy, is that I get to answer your questions in real time. It's not just me telling you about, okay, so this is a topic, this is how you fix it, but it's like, this is how you, with your reality, with your life, with the things that you want to achieve, this is how you fix it. And then I can follow up with you day after day. Oh my God, it's so freaking powerful. Right now, if you want to join the Academy, it's 22 euros per month, and then it's 77 for the entire year. Can you imagine? Entire year with my support, with the support of the community, building the life that you want, step by step, day by day. I mean, so yes. Let me see if I forgot telling you about something. No, I haven't. There's one thing, but like, I'm still not sure about it. Well, maybe you get it into the academy and then you can convince me into doing. But actually, you know what? your opinion. So here's the thing. With all this, since this conversation on vulnerability and showing up online just came up in the academy, and I really want everybody in the academy to have the support in the things that they actually need. I am doing every quarter inside of the academy, there is a big challenge. So we had a 21-day Make the Move challenge, and I was thinking for October, which is our next challenge. I know we're still a little bit far ahead, but I want to be prepared and be able to tell you what is happening. I was thinking about this challenge on vulnerability. You should have seen this written because it sounds different. But this whole challenge about being vulnerable and showing up and how to do it and how to practice and how to do it in a way that actually honors you. I was thinking about dedicating the entire month of October to that. Can you see the value in that? Would you sign up to the academy just for this thing and being like, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to be a part of this vulnerability challenge and show up because I need this to build my life, the life that I want? Yeah, let me know in the comments, actually. Let me know your opinion. Okay, I guess that was it. I hope this was useful to you, that you got value from it. Let me know in the comments all your thoughts. I know I'm like comments, but I love comments, you know? And I'm the type of coach that I always want you to implement something. So for me, it doesn't matter that this is a free call. I care that you actually listen to this information and you apply it. So if you want to get into what's up here in the Gentle Badass, let me know in the comments if you are working on this and what is that one thing that you are going to implement from this conversation. And if you want to go deeper, you already know where to go. Go to the Gentle Badass Academy and just come be a part of the team. There are 11 awesome ladies inside, and I just can't wait to have more and more of you. And just I'm so excited. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to read the tea. It is really interesting. It's really cool. I was scared to publish, but I think it's one of my best pieces. That's what people have been telling me. Okay, all right. See you in the next one. Bye.